Let's take a quick look at sports. Here's Ayotunde Balu.
Nigeria's World Cup qualifying opponents Algeria have appointed Spaniard Lucas Alcaraz as their new head coach. Alcaraz, whose appointment was confirmed by the Algeria Football Federation, was only last week sacked by La Liga club side Granada, whom he left second from bottom in the league table. The Desert Foxes are in free fall as they have only 1 point from their 2 Russia 2018 qualifying group games and got eliminated early at the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations. A former Cote d'Ivoire and Chelsea star Didier Drogba has signed for US second-tier team Phoenix Rising. The club said Drogba would be a member of the club's playing staff before eventually switching to an executive role. Phoenix currently play in the United Soccer League, the second division of US club football. Although there is no promotion and relegation between the USL and MLS, Phoenix is vying to become one of the top division expansion teams. Drogba's arrival in Arizona comes after a turbulent spell with MLS side Montreal Impact, which came to an end last season. Former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi has finalized the sale of the Rossoneri AC Milan to a Chinese-led consortium in a $788 million deal that tightens China's grip on the game in Italy. In the statement, Berlusconi's family holding confirmed it had sold its entire 99.93% stake in the club to Luxembourg-based Rossoneri Sport Investment Lux, the company that replaced the original Chinese-built vehicle. The deal, the biggest Chinese investment in the European club, follows the purchase of Inter Milan by retail giant Suning Commerce Group last year. Britain's Jenson Button looks set to replace Fernando Alonso at McLaren for the Monaco Grand Prix in May. Alonso will miss Monaco to race in the Indianapolis 500 with full support from McLaren and engine partner Honda. Although McLaren Executive Director Zak Brown says Alonso's replacement is not in place, there are strong indications that Button, who is contracted to McLaren as a reserve driver, will race in place of the Spaniard, barring unexpected circumstances. Australia has defended its title in the men's team pursuit at the World Track Cycling Championships. The Olympic silver medalist defeated last year's runner-up New Zealand in the final at the Hong Kong Velodrome. Italy won the bronze medal, beating Olympic champion Britain. In the women's team pursuit, the United States retained its world title by beating Australia. New Zealand took home the bronze. Aziz Awang won the men's, carrying Fabian Zapata of Colombia was second, and Thomas Babik of the Czech Republic took bronze.
Presented by Vice Chairman, Major Sports Events Committee. 紀念品將會由大型體育活動事務委員會副主席。
And that's a wrap with sports news. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
The US military has dropped a massive ordnance air bomb in Afghanistan. Also known as the mother of all bombs, it was dropped at 7 p.m. by an MC-130 aircraft operated by Air Force Special Operations Command. They say the target was ISIS tunnels and personnel in Nangarhar province. It's the first time America's most powerful non-nuclear bomb has been used in the battlefield. The US military is said to be currently assessing the damage caused.
Around 7 p.m. local time in Afghanistan last night, the United States military used a GBU-43 weapon in Afghanistan. The GBU-43 is a large, powerful, and accurately delivered weapon. We targeted a system of tunnels and caves that ISIS fighters used to move around freely, making it easier for them to target U.S. military advisors and Afghan forces in the area. The United States takes the fight against ISIS very seriously, and in order to defeat the group, we must deny them operational space, which we did.
Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has debunked news of a chemical attack on civilians in Syria. In an interview with the AFP, he said the Syrian government had given up its chemical arsenal in 2013 and would not use them even if they had them. More than 80 people were killed in the rebel-held town of Han Sheikhoun last week, with many suffering symptoms consistent with nerve agent sarin. Amidst international condemnation for the suspected gas attack, the British Prime Minister Theresa May says the Syrian government is responsible, despite President Assad's rejection of culpability.
Scientists have analysed material from the site of the attack. They're very clear that sarin or a sarin-like substance was used. And as our ambassador to the United Nations made clear yesterday, like the United States, we believe it is highly likely that attack was carried out by the Assad regime. Apart from anything else, we believe it's only the regime that has the capability to take such an attack and make such an attack.
And the main news again. President Buhari today offered assurances of his administration's commitment to rescuing the remaining Chibok girls in Boko Haram captivity. President Muhammadu Buhari pointed out in a press statement that the release of 24 girls is a testament that rescue efforts are unrelenting. Also today, school children joined the Bring Back Our Girls group leaders in Abuja street protests, while group members also staged peaceful demonstrations in Lagos to increase awareness on efforts to release the girls. And the U.S. military today dropped the biggest non-nuclear bomb on an Islamic State group tunnel complex in Afghanistan. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Runyato. You have a good night.